2026 tax filing season. In today's video, we have important dates as well as important information that you need to know before you file your 2025 tax returns for the 2026 tax filing season. So make sure you stay tuned for all of the details. But before we begin, as always, welcome back, everyone. So very happy to have you back for another update. Now, this information is being shared from IRS.gov. Let's go ahead and get started. And we are starting with the due dates for the 2026 tax filing season. The due date to file your 2025 tax return is April 16, 2026. And for certain taxpayers outside of the United States, the due date is June 15, 2026. And if you file for an extension, the due date will be October 15, 2026. And if the due date to file your tax return falls on a Saturday or Sunday or a legal holiday, the due date will be delayed until the next business day. Now let's continue with paper tax returns. Your paper return is filed on time if it is mailed in an envelope that is properly addressed, has enough postage, and is postmarked by the due date. Also, if you do not file your 2025 tax return by the due date, you may have to pay a failure to file penalty and interest. Moving on, if you were a W-2 employee, you should receive your Form W-2 from your employer. You will need that information to file an accurate tax return. Now, your employer is required to provide you that W-2 form no later than February 2nd, 2026. As for Form 1099, if you receive certain types of income, you may receive a Form 1099. For example, if you receive taxable interest of $10 or more, the taxpayer is required to send Form 1099 to you no later than February 2nd, 2026. Let's move on to change of address. If you change your address, you should notify the IRS, and you can use Form 8822 to notify the IRS of your address change. Now let's continue with refund time frames. If you claim the Earned Income Tax Credit, the EITC, or the Additional Child Tax Credit, the ACTC, you can expect to get your 2026 tax refund by March 3rd, and that is if you file your return online, you chose to get your refund by direct deposit, and they found no issues with processing your tax return. The IRS is also stating that some taxpayers who claim the EITC credit or the Additional Child Tax Credit may see their tax refunds earlier than March 3rd. Make sure to check the Where is My Refund for up-to-date status on your tax refund. The Where is My Refund should show an update status for the EITC Filers by February 22nd, 2026. That is for the early filers for the EITC and the Additional Child Tax Credit. By law, the IRS cannot issue EITC or Additional Child Tax Credit refunds before mid-February. This includes your entire tax refund and not just the part that is related to the credit that you claim on your tax return. If you claim the EITC or the Additional Child Tax Credit, the IRS may need more information from you about your tax return to make sure you are eligible for those credits. And if they do need additional information, they will be sending you out a notice. And the Additional Child Tax Credit amount for the 2026 tax filing season is $1,700 for each qualifying child. And the maximum Earned Income Tax Credit amounts For the 2026 tax filing season, those with no qualifying children, the maximum amount is $649. One qualifying child, the maximum credit is $4,328. Two qualifying children, the maximum is $7,152. And three or more qualifying children, the maximum EITC credit is $8,046. Also, to claim the EITC credit, your investment income must not be more than $11,950. Now, the standard deduction amount for the 2026 tax filing season, single or married filing separately, the amount is $15,750. Married filing jointly or qualifying survivor spouse, it is $31,500. And for head of household, the amount is $23,625. So remember that the IRS is moving away from sending paper checks for the 2026 tax filing season. Now, the change will improve security, speed up refunds, and lower costs according to the IRS. Now, what this means for you as a taxpayer, you must file your tax return as usual. Expect your refunds by direct deposit or other secure electronic methods. In some cases, prepaid debit cards and digital wallets may be used. You must have your bank account information ready when you file your tax return. Or if you don't already have a bank account, the IRS states consider opening a free or low-cost account. The IRS is also reminding those of you who did not file a previous tax return, if you were due a tax refund, you must generally file a past due tax return within 3 years from the due date. And for those taxpayers who are eligible for the Trump accounts, you can apply for the Trump account by filing Form 4547 at the same time you file your tax return. So make sure to discuss that with your tax preparer. And for a child to be eligible for the Trump account, the child must be born after 2024 and before 2029 in the U.S. and meet certain other requirements, and the child is eligible for the 1,000 pilot program contribution into their Trump account. And for more detailed specific information about the Trump accounts, I will place the link to the previous videos in the description box, so make sure you check for them, and make sure to share this video with anyone who may qualify for the Trump account, as well as for others to be updated on the 2026 tax filing season changes. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and come back for more updates. Bye-bye.